Hello and welcome to the 750 Motor Club's home circuit, Donington Park. As the season draws to its conclusion, there's a packed day of action in prospect. So in today's programme, we've just got time to bring you a selection of the best of the racing. And we're going to start with round 12 of the Tweeks Yokohama Stock Cats Championship, also including at the back of the grid the Renault Clio 182 series cars, which will start on a 10-second delay. As far as the stock catches are concerned, as Alan Daffin comes into the pit lane at the end of the green flag lap, it's Tom Bell that can wrap up the championship today. He starts on the outside of the front row of the grid. You'll notice that pole position is left vacant. Jake Farndon blew an engine yesterday. Red lights go out. Away we go for 13 minutes plus one lap of racing. And it's a good start there by Tom Bell, a solid start from him. In yesterday's race he took a third position behind the two Deegan brothers. As further back the Clios get underway as well. Half a dozen of these. I understand we're getting up to 16 or 17 cars now in the process of being built. We're looking forward to standalone grids for these cars next season. At the moment though, it's the number 7 car that heads the group. That's Matt Fincham from number 5 Martin Ward as they head through Redgate Corner for the first time. It's Bell that leads though, and then we have a Deegan in second place, and I think that is going to be Shane Deegan from the outside of the second row of the grid. Someone is kicking up a bit of dirt there. That might well be Andy Tibbs, who's having his return to the championship this weekend. We're on board with Paul Jarvis here. He started 8th on the grid today. He's just tucked in behind Nathan Saunders there. You might remember those two tangled at Silverstone at the last meeting. Climbing up the hill towards the double apex right-hander at Coppis now. It's Bell leading. It's the 2011 championship winner, Patrick Fletcher, who's up into second place now. And then the two Deacon brothers, third and fourth. And they had a 1-2 finish yesterday, with Tom Bell finishing third. On board here with Steve Polson, then we look forward and we look back as well. In the mirrors, I can see Pip Howard. I can also see Andy Tibbs as well in the number 28 car, turning their way through the chicane to complete lap 1 of this Tweeks Yokohama Stock Cats race. Tom Bell up front is pulling out a bit of a lead over the rest. It looks like Nathan Saunders has gone up to 4th position as well, I can see. It is Shane Deegan there in the 58 car in 3rd place. Lee Deegan is down in 5th, and it's Paul Jarvis in 6th, ahead of the 34 machine of Scott Sharp from Chester. Turning their way through Hollywood, down through the Craner curves once more. Bell here looking secure. He only needs a fairly modest finish here to wrap up the championship, with still 2 races to spare at Cadwell Park in 3 weeks' time. But he's got a good lead here over the rest of the field. Out of the old hairpin towards Schwantz Curve they go. Problems for the number 22 Clio. That's Kevin Condon from Aylesbury. He's coming into retirement, I'm afraid. Kevin has a non-finish yesterday as well. Paul Jarvis getting a little bit out of shape there as they come out of McLean's then up this quite steep hill towards Coppis then. It is still Bell in the lead from Patrick Fletcher, and we've had Shane Deegan then. They're in 3rd position, and Deegan now is pulling out of the slipstream of Patrick Fletcher there. He's going to have a look, I think, down the Dunlop straight. Over that little crest they go, in towards the chicane, but Deegan needs to watch out for Nathan Saunders as well. The two of them are side by side here, and Saunders goes through to 3rd place. Through to the chicane they go then. Saunders, who's had 3 podium finishes coming into this weekend, but he had a non-finish yesterday. Oh, and it's getting very tight there between Steve Polsland and Andy Tibbs. And Polsland, you can see, is losing quite a few places because of all of that. He's lost momentum on a crucial part of the circuit coming out of the chicane up the Whitcroft straight towards Redgate Corner. Polsland, who was on the podium last time out at Silverstone, losing out a little bit there. So the top 6 making a breakaway now. You've got Paul Jarvis there with the white roof on his car at the rear of that group. Just ahead of him is Lee Deegan, and Shane Deegan has, well, very nearly a spin. He's off through the gravel, he's over the grass. Shane Deegan is probably going to lose some more places here. He's down to 6th position. Will Scott Sharp get him as well? Yes, he does. So down to 7th position now goes Shane Deegan with a mistake going into the old hairpin there. He might lose another position as well. I think that could be Philip Wright that makes the move, and it's Deegan down to 8th position then. Bell leading. Fletcher's not letting him get away though. Then it's Saunders in 3rd, Lee Deegan 4th, Paul Jarvis up to 5th then. Paul was in contention for his first ever podium finish last time out at Silverstone, and you can see here how the Clios are starting to get mixed in with the stock catch cars as well. It looks like it is still Matt Fincham leading from Martin Ward. Meanwhile, the leaders are going door handle to door handle, aren't they? And it's Patrick Fletcher that's through on the inside at Redgate Corner to take the lead away from Tom Bell. Well, this shouldn't affect his championship. Meanwhile, look, Paul Jarvis as well. He's going for 4th position. He's challenging Lee Deegan as they go through the Craner curves. But it's Fletcher leading, the 2011 champion, from Tom Bell in 2nd. Saunders 3rd. And it's still side by side between Deegan and Jarvis. And I think Deegan, with his door mirror hanging off, is just about hanging on to 4th position. But he kicks up a bit of dirt now. And that's going to give Paul Jarvis the chance. He's going to try and nip up the inside as they come up towards Schwartz curve. He's tucked back in behind the other black car. They're losing touch now a little bit with the top 3 as they're battling. Look how Deegan, from an autograss racing background, slides the car around there. Paul Jarvis, who's come on in leaps and bounds over the last season or so, getting his way up towards the front of the championship. He's 6th in the points coming into this weekend, and he's having another go now at Lee Deegan as they come out of Coppice Corner. This is the view from Steve Polson's car. You can see Martin Ward's Clio. Those cars not racing for points. So, it's Fletcher leading, Bell 2nd, Saunders 3rd. Still Deegan in 4th position, that's Lee Deegan, and then Paul Jarvis 5th as they come up and over the line once more. This is the view from on board with Paul Jarvis now. On board his 1.6 litre Citroen Saxo VTR. Turning into Redgate Corner as Tom Bell goes back through on the inside of Patrick Fletcher to retake the lead, or does he? Fletcher runs out wide, Saunders goes even wider. Lots of the grass being used here at Donington Park, and of course drivers won't be able to do that from next season. Bell it is that's back in front though, Fletcher down to 2nd. Saunders still there in 3rd, and look now, Deegan and Jarvis are closing back in on the top 3 as well. Shane Deegan up to 6th position once more. Then it's Sharp. There's Martin Ward in car number 5 then, cutting a swathe through this pack. And it's side by side for the lead once again now, but it looks like Tom Bell's holding on. Saunders back in contention too. He's up to 2nd place because Patrick Fletcher was a bit slow there, I think, coming out of the chicane. So it's Bell, Saunders and Fletcher now, with Lee Deegan having a look up on the inside of Patrick Fletcher as well. Not so long ago, Patrick Fletcher was leading this race, and now he's going to go down to 5th position because Jarvis goes through as well. Fantastic racing this. Paul Jarvis from Hemel Hempstead now to 4th position. Patrick Fletcher, well, maybe he's got a problem because he's now dropped back to 5th place. As I say, not so long ago he was in the lead. Yesterday he was a late retirement as well. As a mistake there from Lee Deegan. That allows a change of positions as well. Here's Jarvis then, he's up to 3rd place. Clear, oh, not for much longer though, because Fletcher fights back going into McLean's corner. Fletcher's back to 3rd, so he's gone from 1st to 5th, back to 3rd again, but there is daylight now between the top 2 and 3rd position. Fletcher 3rd, Jarvis 4th. It looks like we've got Shane Deegan in 5th, Lee Deegan in 6th, and then you've got the first of the Clios, that's Martin Ward, and it's Ben Saybold in the 2nd of the Clios there as well. That's number 25, but it's number 54 coming back down towards us once more. And that's Tom Bell. A bit of a lock-up there for Nathan Saunders in 2nd place. And Jarvis goes back to 3rd at the expense of Patrick Fletcher. Jarvis up to 3rd position. Fletcher down to 4th. And very soon, Martin Ward is going to get involved in this scrap as well. The Clio driver, not racing with them for points. I'm sure he'll be mindful not to upset their races too much, if he can possibly avoid it. Fletcher losing a gout again. There's contact between the 2 cars. That's Deegan and Fletcher. They both go sideways. Deegan running off the circuit there. That's just given Paul Jarvis a couple of car lengths of breathing space over the rest. It's Shane Deegan there, holding on to 4th place. Then it's Fletcher, and you can see there's some damage to his car now with the various little bits of contact he's had during the course of this race. Still Lee Deegan's passenger side door mirror waving merrily in the breeze. Now Martin Ward actually losing a position there in the clear. Now we don't really expect that to happen. The Clios should be a little bit quicker over a lap time. Deegan there sliding the car through McLean's, the right-hander. Now the climb up towards Coppice Corner. Bell and Saunders and Jarvis is closing in on them as well, I think. There's Fletcher. Martin Ward is now really back into the clutches of Benny Seibold in the Clio class battle. They're dropping down the hill once more. Not much time left in this race now. 13-minute plus 1 lap race, of course. It's Bell, Saunders, Jarvis, the top 3. Fletcher's dropped back further still now, hasn't he? He's behind those 2 Clios as the cars go on to their final lap of the race. Well, are we going to see any change? It looks like Benny Siebold was about to attack Martin Ward for the lead within the Clio part of the race. We've lost Matt Fincham a little bit earlier on, unfortunately. He was in charge of the Clio battle. One of the prime movers behind this new Clio series, of course. It's him that's developed the initial car for this development series. Martin Ward still there then, car number 5. Turns his way under Starkey's Bridge, but here are the top 3 then. It is still Bell, Saunders and Jarvis. Paul Jarvis yet to have a podium finish in the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Stock Cats Championship. Could he have his chance this weekend? There's a saxo between the first 2 Clios now of Ward and Siebold. Look at the top 3, how close they are through Coppice Corner. Really only one more corner to go now, and that's the chicane. But the car's still close enough for an overtaking opportunity, and Paul Jarvis knows that. He tries to find a way down the inside of Nathan Saunders, but he can't quite get alongside down the straight. He's going to have to tuck back in behind. And it looks like the order is set, so Tom Bell is going to come out of the chicane up towards the checkered flag, and he takes the win, and he takes the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Stock Cats Championship as well. Tom Bell victorious, Nathan Saunders second, Paul Jarvis is third. 4th position in the end goes the way of Shane Deegan, and on the run to the checkered flag we have lost Martin Ward, so the Clio win goes to Benny Siebold. Confirmation of those results then, it is Tom Bell that takes the win from Nathan Saunders by 0.4 of a second. Paul Jarvis in third, another 0.3 back. Shane Deegan not too far behind either. Ben Siebold in the end was the best of the Clios in 6th overall. He also got the overall fastest lap. Shane Deegan, fastest lap within the Stock Hatch cars.
Tom Bell, you are the 2013 Stock Hatch champion. You must be a very happy man.
Very happy indeed, yeah, brilliant. Can't believe I've done it really. It was a tough year, but so we've got some victories early on and it's paid off now, so yeah, very pleased.
And that race for you is a lot harder than we saw yesterday as well.
Yeah, a lot harder, especially, obviously it helped. Obviously Jake had a problem yesterday, so he wasn't on the front row, so it gave me a bit of breathing space into the first bend. But yeah, I was under a lot of challenge throughout the race really, and sort of glad when the last lap board come up.
How are you going to celebrate?
I'll probably have a few drinks and a meal during the week and family and that, and then just get ready for Cadwell really.
I'm sure you have quite a few. Well done, Tom.
Thank you.
Nathan, well done your 2nd place there. You tried to give Tom Bell as much pressure as possible.
Well, yeah, it was. We were catching up towards the end of the race, but obviously we had a few battles along the way, and but no, we got there in the end. But we had a few problems with the car as well, like overheating wise. I think it got to like 115 degrees when it should have only been at 80, 90. So if we run a little bit cooler, then perhaps we could give him a run for his money.
And it's your 4th podium of the year, so you picked up quite a few along the way so far.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been quite lucky this year. It's the rookie season. I wasn't really expecting to do that well, but obviously something's working right. The car's feeling good, I'm feeling good. Free on the last round.
Well done, Nathan.
Thank you very much.
Paul Jarvis coming home 3rd there, your 1st podium. You must be another happy man as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't expecting that from today's race. Yesterday's race I went backwards, so like I say, we made a small change overnight, and it made a huge difference. The car was transformed. So yeah, pretty stoked to get it. I just don't know what else to say.
And it's always tough opposition out there in this Stock Hatch Championship, so you had to hold on to that podium as well.
Yeah, exactly. When I got third on the 2nd or 3rd from the end lap, I could not relax. I knew that instead of focusing on my rearview mirror, I had to look ahead and try and catch the cars in front. That's the only way to stay in that position.
Well done, Paul.
Thanks.
Join us again after the break for Classic Stock Hatch.